Finish him! Goddamn right. Fatality.
Fatality. Yes. So, welcome to Joker Joker TV episode 21. Is that where we are?
Yep.
Yeah, 21. So this episode is sort of our animation episode. We got a couple submissions in from different artists that were kind of animation based, and so we figured we'd throw them all in one show. So that was Seth Whitehurst, Heisenberg, and Mortal Kombat. We've got more to play from Seth at another date, so watch out for that. He's in a band called Rotten Monarch, and so we're going to be playing some of his stuff. Also, he has a channel which you can find in the information. We'll have it in the description after the live broadcast. But he's got a channel where he's got lots of different stuff. He does animations for metal bands, different metal bands, and so like there's a lot of stuff there to look at. Let's see. Up next, we've got Damian Asia, the sock that lives in my laundry basket, and this was submitted a while ago, and we figured we'd throw it in here. It's kind of a stop motion animation style. They're from San Antonio, Texas. This was released in 2019, and they have a Patreon, which we will link to, which they encourage everybody to go donate so they can make more films, and that's kind of the idea of their Patreon. So the music in this, I wanted to give a shout out to the music. zeekybeats, the zeekybeats provided the music for this piece, and we'll have a link to their information as well. So, all right, take it away.
last time I was at that beach, I was 6 years old. My friends and I would look for crabs. Their eggs tasted like caviar. Why do I have to leave my friends? I'm gonna teach my son how to fish. I think the two big men believed my father when he said that. Before it was a boat, it was just some wood, bicycle parts, walrus skin, and a 3-horsepower, single-cylinder, water-cooled engine. That's what we could find at the time, and it was supposed to make it across the Bering Sea. We knew of only 6 ships they possessed that could handle the weather in June. My dad was an engineer, so he knew how to disable them. The sun hadn't come up yet, and all others slept. We paddled at first. Then we started the engine. If the ice cuts through the walrus skin, we'll die. If we fall in the water, we'll die. If they catch us, we'll die. Father, are we going to die? The next day, somehow, they found us. We started dumping things so we could move faster. All we possessed went under, but the ship got closer. We are of water and ice. You cannot catch us. We dumped our fishing gear, but the ship got closer. We moved with the waves through rain and snow. We dumped our food, but the ship got closer. We crossed the sea toward unseen shores. We dumped any spare gasoline, but the ship got closer. Then the fog came, thick and white. Everything was invisible, and we were free. Only now we didn't have enough gasoline. We changed course. The next day, we reached Savunga, 250 miles away from my friends, and that beach. I didn't know it at the time, but we were the first Siberian defectors to be granted asylum in the United States. Why do they keep following us? They followed my dad until he died. In the Navy, I didn't talk about where I grew up. I didn't talk about my friends or that beach. I lived peacefully for 35 years. When housing prices rose, I became homeless and afflicted by disease. I was also lucky. I found a shelter. I moved around a bit, but I had a bed and a place to get old. Best of all, I wasn't being followed anymore. The last time I was at that beach, I was 6 years old.
All right, that was awesome. That was Sean Pettis of Water and Ice. That's a filmmaker from the San Francisco, Los Angeles area, filmmaker, cinematographer. We played something from him, a couple things from him a couple weeks ago, and so that was just another piece that he sent that was more animated, and so we threw it in with this show. I really enjoyed that story because I have a little bit of a personal connection to that kind of thing. My grandfather escaped from Yugoslavia in the 60s, and so it's kind of interesting to hear stories of that kind of nature, you know? So, all right, so next we've got Michael Shanks, something from Michael Shanks called Rebooted. And Michael Shanks is a Melbourne, Australia-based filmmaker and musician. He does all the score work for these films that he has on his YouTube page, which we'll link to. But this was a really cool one that I enjoyed. So take it away. That was Michael Shanks. And we're going to have links to his information, so you'll be able to check that out. So up next, we've got a submission from Uncle Woe called "Become the Ghost," and this is a band from Ontario. This is from their, if I get the right name, Phantomescence is the name of their release that was released in August 2020, and this is the first single off that album. You can go to their Bandcamp, which is right over here somewhere. And they have this whole album as a name your own price. So you can get it for whatever you want to pitch in and check out the whole album. It's pretty cool. So, all right.
curtain of clouds hides it from view. If you like, you can swing your rocket clear around you. They call that making an orbit, but there's no air out there in space, and the Rocketeers have to carry their own air along so they can breathe. They wear big plastic helmets and special flying suits. Of course, they can't just sit down and take off the way you do in a car or a train.
The Wonder Jelly. Let it work wonders for you.
I don't want to be a chicken, I don't want to be a duck, so I shake my butt at Pizza Hut.
Chicken Burger Disco approved. So that was Chicken Burger Disco, another one. This one's called Don't Want to Be a Chicken or a Duck. I love that one. So, in fact, I love everything Chicken Burger does. Thanks for joining us. I was just looking down to see if you're still in the chat. But good to see you. Next we've got a piece from Peter Fielding. This is called Sebastian. This is part 10. This is a whole series of animated pieces that are about our fog machine. Look at that. It's about Johann Sebastian Bach, and it's like from birth to death, and maybe even a little bit after that. Over the last 2 years or so, he's been working on this project, and he's got up to part 10 right now. And he plans to do like about 30 to 35 probably in total. So he's got a while to go, and he's working on stuff constantly. You can check his YouTube channel out and see everything up to this. This is the most latest episode. This is a 51-year-old DIY animator. They started learning animation to do this project. Lives in Italy, and we really appreciate the submission.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was excellent. I'd only like to ask you to attack the first note with a little bit less vigour, not ta-na-na, but ta-na-na. All right? Your Excellency.
Superb, Sebastian. Truly superb. Every day you're reminding me why I couldn't let you return to Mulhausen. It's going to be an unforgettable Easter celebration.
Thank you, my lord. Tomorrow we're going to rehearse with the choir.
Come and join me. There are things I'd like to talk to you about. I hope that our musicians are to your satisfaction.
They are among the finest in the country, my lord. It's a privilege to work with them.
And how is your wife and your little daughter? What's her name again?
Dorothea, my lord.
Dorothea, that's right.
They're fine, my lord. Actually, Barbara's pregnant again, and our daughter made her first steps yesterday.
Oh, did she? That's lovely. Between you and me, I've always regretted not having any children.
Forgive me if this question's too personal, but have you never been married, my lord?
Yes, once, in a very distant past. But it didn't work out, and we soon went separate ways. It's not something I enjoy talking about.
My apologies, my lord. I didn't mean to upset you.
Don't apologize, Sebastian. You're only trying to be considerate. Still, there are my two little nephews.
Yes, I've met them. Especially Ernst August is turning into a real man, isn't he?
A bit more discipline wouldn't be wasted on him. We've arrived. Look, Sebastian, this is my collection. Lucas Cranach, Albrecht Dürer, and there, a genuine Peter Paul Rubens. The great Flemish masters made this sketch in person for my late grandfather. Do you see the self-assurance which he's drawn this portrait with? These bold lines, the dynamics of the composition, and yet this man is something vulnerable in spite of the musculature, something
warmth.
Exactly. That's it. As if this drawing could really come to life.
Incredibly beautiful.
This is what I mean with harmony, Sebastian. This is why we human beings can excel if we really put our minds to it and rejoice as supreme with our greatness. Come, follow me to the tower. Are you happy here, Sebastian?
I feel fortunate to live here in Weimar, my lord.
That's good to hear. I do like my artists to feel at home. You know, I have great plans with Weimar. I intend to transform it into a sanctuary where aestheticism, wisdom and science shall walk hand in hand to the honor and glory of God. And this, there, Sebastian, is the reason why I've grown so fond of you.
My lord, you are doing me too much honor. You can't compare me with those exquisite works of art.
When I listen to your music, I only feel one thing. Harmony. Harmony between the soul and the universe that God created. I believe that he sent you to me for a reason, Sebastian. I'm actually profoundly convinced of that now. You shall be the cornerstone, the foundation upon which my dream of Weimar shall be built.
My lord.
You bring salvation to my soul. Thanks to you, I feel united with God. I'll never want to do without that experience ever again.
I'll keep doing my best to please you and to write music worthy of your admiration.
I know, dear Sebastian, I know. You have leave to go now. Your family must be waiting for you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Who's Daddy's little favourite?
How was your day, love?
Oh, it was fine.
That doesn't sound very convincing to me.
No, really, I'm serious. It was great, actually. The Duke was all praise about my cantata, and then he took me on a tour of the palace and showed me his collection of works of art.
That's wonderful, dear.
It got even better. Then he said that my music is pure harmony, that it brings him closer to God, and that he doesn't want to do without it anymore. He said that I'm going to be the cornerstone of his plans to transform Weimar into a sanctuary of art and wisdom.
But that's unbelievable. I'm so proud of you. Finally, you're getting the recognition you deserve. But then, why am I getting the impression that there's something else?
No, it's all fine, really. It's just that, how shall I put it? It's the way he said it.
How do you mean?
I don't know. It almost feels too good to be true. Duke's a very reserved person. He hardly comes out of his palace, spends most of his time with his collection or in the chapel. There are few people he talks to on a regular basis, always keeping a certain distance. And yet, with me, he's always so jovial, almost addressing me as if I were his friend rather than his servant.
Couldn't it be that you're just imagining things because, after all that's happened in the past, you're finding it difficult to believe that finally someone really likes your music?
Probably, yes.
Cheer up then. I've got a nice beef stew on the stove which will certainly make you feel better.
Beef stew, huh?
Uh-huh.
Who can that be at this hour? Gentlemen,
Master Bach, His Excellency requires your presence.
what's this about, Captain?
His Excellency didn't say. We are merely to escort you to the palace chapel.
Let me grab my vest.
Ah, Sebastian, there you are.
You've sent for me, my lord.
Play something on the organ for me.
What would you like me to play, my lord? You seem to be sorrowful, so perhaps something cheerful to raise the spirit?
No, anything but cheerful.
As you wish, my lord. Wasn't it to your liking, my lord?
Leave me!
My lord.